Wives, be subject to your own husbands as to the Lord. For a husband is head of the wife, as also Christ is head of the church, he himself being the Savior of the body. Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself up for her. Ephesians 5, verses 22 through 23 and verse 25. This week we continue the series entitled The Will of God. We're speaking from Brother Ron Kangas to the working saints during a regional conference in Madison, Wisconsin in March 2011. In this episode, Brother Ron speaks regarding family life and also responds to a question regarding the spiritual experience of new mothers. A link to the full audio can be found in the episode notes.
Now, I just add this. We have Christ, we have the cross, we have the church as the goal. And I'm emphasizing the church, okay, and the meetings of the church. Okay, now regarding meetings of the church, I will be officially, politically incorrect. Okay, I'll tell you this little story. We'll still have some time for a response. You know, I'm a new dad. I'm a new husband. I'm a new dad. I'm new in the Lord's recovery. It's December 1967. I've only been in the recovery for 14 months, only been married for 17 months. A little girl is born. I assure my wife, I said, look, you want to nurse her? Please be encouraged that when she wakes up and you get up to nurse her, I also will get up. And I will prepare for you and me warm Ovaltine. You know what Ovaltine is? This chocolate drink? And then I will bring the aforementioned Ovaltine to you, and you can sip on yours while you're nursing, and I will sip on mine, and I will accompany you. I would like to assure you, I did this one night. And the second night, I said, I've got to get up early and go to work to teach at this challenging school. God made us male and female for a reason. You nurse the girl. Don't worry, I'll take care of my breakfast, I'll take care of my lunch, but I'm not getting up anymore under usual circumstances. When it's two kids with antiphonal crying, then you both got to be up pacing the floor. Do we now have a unisex? Are you going to practice a unisex church life when the kids come? Here's the unisex church life. Okay, here was church life before the baby. The brother's in the front row. He's exercising. Help carrying the ark in the meeting. The wife is sitting in a suitable place. Now she's expecting. We have the whole situation. Now the baby's born. And the brothers abandon the front row to sit in the back with this little family. And the brother now has a snuggly on his chest. And they're just alternating, going in and out. And he is being feminized. And this is a unisex thing. Oh, I just got, oh, sorry, I can't come to the prayer meeting. I got to stay home to read Curious George. I got to do such and such. Listen. In the fall, one of the limitations is with childbearing. And I have learned many, many things in the humanity of Jesus to give my wife a break and to give opportunity to her if there's been weeks since she's been in a meeting. But I did not allow family life to eviscerate the brother's function. Can a soldier say to his government who's calling him up, sorry, I've got to do alternate child care. We have to reconsider. There's a tendency, and I've listened to older sisters wondering what is happening. This is now at the semi-annual training. You see this brother walking around the LSM campus with a baby on his chest. Are you a trainee? Why are you not in the meeting? Is there a headship? Is there order in your family? Doesn't your wife realize she has the limitation of being the mother? You have the limitation of being the father and the husband. Don't allow a natural view of family life to nullify the church life. Okay, I said it. Now it's probably on tape. Who knows where it's going to go? I say, here I stand. I can say no other. I got it out. That my children, they were born into this. They were born into this radical church life that their parents paid a price to be in. They moved when we moved. But you check with them. They're now all middle-aged. Well, the youngest one is still in his 30s. They'll tell you they have no lack. They have no memory of lack. They still know the best campsite in the high country in Yosemite. We spent a week there. But they also know we are clear what was first for our dad and for our mom. We are clear. Okay, so these are some of the matters that for the church life, it needs to be supported by the human life, by the family life. There's no legality here that Brother Lee told us. You need to his co-workers. He said you need to have one night a week for the family. In my situation, I realize my wife needs 2 or 3 hours out of the house. I'll stay with the kids. It's an off night. She called it airing her brains out. Whatever was humanly refreshing to her. And she would come back refreshed. We would take preventative action twice a year. What I meant by preventative action is when we sense depletion coming, we would arrange for our 3 kids to be with a family with their 4 kids. And we will go out to the desert to spend 2 or 3 days out in the desert hot springs, to be together, to be refreshed, to renew our marriage. Then we come home, we take their 4. That I don't want you to have the impression, for your sake, not mine, that we're not fully aware of all the human elements. But what's first? What about the will of God concerning Christ in ordinary life? What about the will of God concerning the cross, which is to solve all problems by the cross? I have to tell you, my wife and I can't say never, but almost never have an argument, an exchange of words. It's just virtually impossible. As soon as that's about to happen, the Lord is there, the cross is there, the impending loss of peace is there. It just doesn't matter. Meaning, the issue doesn't matter. The peace is what matters. Well, I left you 23 minutes. What should we do for 23 minutes? You want to ask me something? Do you want to, in a respectful way, you want to challenge something? Do you want to request fellowship on something? What? I'm just here now. Yeah. This is a good way of putting it. I'll first respond in this way, that The one who's qualified to respond to this question is the sister mothers who have done this. And I defer to them. I have to defer to them. So I can just try to point out a few things that might be elements of this. One is you need to accept fundamentally this change in your life. The past is over. The single life is over. It's over. And the church life, in that particular way, is undergoing major adjustment. God has sent another human being into your life. With all that this entails, with all the limitation, the inconvenience, the sacrifice, the loss. If there's no acceptance, then there's no way for the grace to come. The grace comes when we are humbled under the Lord's arrangement. Lord, this is what it is. Here we have this arrangement. I serve on children's meeting every other week, and I served last week, and this week I get to go to the meeting, but the little one is sick. So now I get to stay home, and the next week I serve, and then there's something else, and it can be 7 weeks you haven't been to the Lord's table. This stuff actually happens. Well, now what do you do? One thing to realize is that to a large extent, your schedule is going to be somewhat different. This little one doesn't know you're trying to have morning revival. My wife once wrote a little poem about a cup of cold tea. I don't know if this poem exists anywhere, but the thought was, she finally has a moment of quiet. So she makes herself some tea, and while it's steeping, things get going again. And about 3 hours later, she comes across the cold cup of tea. That to her was kind of a symbol of motherhood. The brother and the sister together need to pray about this, need to seek the Lord, and how the new mom can be supplied. Then you need to find out together just how you'll proceed. Now, this next thing is going to sound mystical. The reason it will sound mystical is because it's mystical. And this is only an element. Okay, it's not the answer. Husbands need to be nourished by the Lord for themselves and for their wives. When they are nourished for their wives, the wife will be nourished just spontaneously. So the husband needs to have a clear realization of the wife's situation. And one thing the husbands need to know is that the wife always knows the status of the relationship. If you have the courage to ask her, she will tell you. She always knows. And if you can fellowship about it, and if you pray about it, and if you accept the Lord's limitation, and if you learn as the sister to realize the Lord is always there for you. He's in your situation. He is praying for you all the time. He suffers with you. He will meet you in the oddest of times. But there's no formula I can give you. Human life is just rough. This is why some young professionals don't want children. They don't want the inconvenience. But I do not know of any sister, say who's now in her 50s or 60s, who was a mother under limitation that now shows any spiritual lack at all. Rather, the opposite is the case. So I know, essentially, I'm giving no answer. I'd like to say one other thing. I don't know if this will help you or not. I just know it helped my wife. But on the one hand, my wife is a female like so many others, a sister like so many others. On the other hand, she's unusual. This was her view of being a mother. Her view was being a mother is her service to the Lord, her ministry. This is her ministry. She was ministering to the Lord by caring for these children the way she did. Some sisters are limited in their capacity, and they either take care of the children or they take care of the husband. But it's hard for them to do both. Some sisters, they're Wonder Woman, they are neurosurgeons, professors, wives, homemakers, mothers, they do everything. So this is where the brother gets to know the self and to experience the cross, that this child has to occupy more space. I can't be self-centered. I don't know if it will help you to have this view that to be a mother is an act of service to the Lord, as it was with Hannah in the Old Testament. I can just tell you what I believe. That I believe the Lord will not leave you empty. He will not let you die. He will not let you wither. That there will be a way for Him to come into your situation and to supply you. I think I should just say this much. But I would hope that some sisters that have passed through this can be of help. The reason I say hope is that the problem with older saints is they get opinionated, and that scares young adults. You don't want a lecture, you don't want opinion. You would like some fellowship with someone who's been there, who understands where you are, and can testify to you how she found the Lord in her situation. I know it can be done, but the limitation is real. But the limitation doesn't mean deprivation. The Lord has a way in. But the brother now has a particular responsibility toward you. You have a particular responsibility toward the little one. He has a particular responsibility toward you to realize your specific needs in this period of time. And he needs to be before the Lord, and he needs to receive something from the Lord to take care of you, because you are the most important person in his life. And if a brother will do this, and a sister will accept her limitation, the Lord will have a way. I don't know how, but the Lord will have a way.
Thank you for joining us today. To hear the complete recording and other messages, please visit livingtohim.com. If you would like to receive regular updates from us, please subscribe to this podcast and join our mailing list on our website. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, where our handle is @livingtohim.